Hey everyone, this is another exam question for the 2019 Software Development exam. Question 4 of our multiple choice section. I've got a few notes down here just to explain what we need to look out for when we're thinking of our non-functional requirements. So first off, when we see reliability, what we need to look out for in our non-functional requirement as it states up here, we need to look for things such as when our user is using our software, what it needs to have a low probability of it crashing or being unavailable at any point. So if your software is an internet website, good reliability would be your website is always available. You never have that crash screen where your server can't connect to that website. So that's good reliability when there's pretty much no chance of that happening. Or if you're making a game or an app, what you want to look out for is just a low probability of a crash. So if you're playing in the middle of a game and all of a sudden it closes and you've got to send your error report, that's where the reliability will suffer. Next one here is portability. So portability, what you need to look out for is using your software on different types of hardware devices. So this will be your mobile phone, tablets, laptops, desktops. These are hardware. You also need to look out for different types of those hardware as well. So if you've got specific types of mobile phones, so good portability would work on an iPhone, a Samsung, iPhone X. Uh, the more hardware, the more different types of hardware that your software will work on, the better portability that you have. This also refers to software as well. So when we think of different types of software, we're thinking about your operating system. Does your software work with Windows, Mac, Linux, and all their different types of versions? If you're doing something on a website, does your software work in different browsers such as Chrome? Does it work in Firefox? Does it work in Edge, Opera, those sorts of things? And if you need to use different types of software that maybe the user has to download as well, um, if that if your user needs to download extra software, that will take away from portability because it doesn't automatically come on their using station. Maintainability. So maintainability, what you need to look out for in that is how easy it would be for programmers after you've released your software. So how easy would it be for programmers to fix any bugs that come out once your software has been released? Or if you want to add a new feature, update your software, how easy will it be for a programmer to do that? The last one here is user friendliness. So when we talk about user friendliness, think about usability. So this is how easy for users to be able to work out how to use your software. So the best types of software out there are ones where you don't need to read a manual or think about having to use it. It's very intuitive. It's very obvious how to use it. So it takes a lot of designing a lot of good designs to be able to do that. That's what iPhones are famous for. They don't need a manual. You just pick up an iPhone and users can easily figure out how to call someone, how to get on the internet, how to use their apps. It's user friendliness that iPhones are very good for. Alright, so now we've gone through all of this, let's get back to our question here. So, when analyzing a new software solution, the developers identified one of the following non-functional requirements. So we're looking out for a non-functional requirement. You might want to highlight this if this was an exam. All the users of a software solution will be using their own mobile device. So users will be using their own mobile device. To which characteristic is this a non-functional requirement related to? So all four of these choices are types of non-functional requirements, but only one is very closely related to this scenario. So we'll look at reliability first off. So reliability. Users can use the software as intended without crashing or becoming unavailable. So it's not really too related to that because it's not all about uptime. It's not all about availability right now. So this one's not screaming at me in terms of reliability. So portability is next up. So portability, all users will be using their own mobile device. So this is very actually related to the many different types of hardware and software because every user has different mobile devices out there. Those mobile devices will have their own version of operating system, whether it be iPhone X, Samsung Galaxy, you'll be having different types of iOS, Android operating versions as well. So to be able to meet this requirement, your software needs to have good portability. So I think this is the one that will scream out at me. I'll just go with the other two. So for maintainability, there's no mention in what's going to happen. So for maintainability, let's have a look at that one. Just briefly, maintainability. This is what we're looking at when software has been released. So there's nothing here mentioning after it's been released and fixing out bugs or adding new features. So that one's not quite what we're looking for. And user friendliness, it's sort of semi-related, but you're thinking more of describing when the user is actually using it, your software. So that one's not too screaming at me at the moment. So the answer for this question is B, for portability.